McCrispy strips are now at McDonald's. I hope you're ready for the most dippable chicken in McDonald's history. Dip it in all the sauces. Dip it in that hot sauce in your bag. Dip it in your McFlurry. Your dip is your business. McCrispy strips at McDonald's.
Welcome to Coruzant Technologies, home of the Digital Executive Podcast.
Welcome to the Digital Executive. Today's guest is Shamir Allibhai. Shamir Allibhai is a video tech entrepreneur and the CEO and founder of Simon Says, a text-based video editing platform in the browser that helps teams cut stories together. Previously, he founded Amber Video, an authentication platform to counter malicious deepfakes videos. He currently lives in San Francisco Bay Area with his family. Well, good afternoon, Shamir. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Brian.
You bet. This is exciting, Shamir. Again, I say this every day. I say this on every podcast. I do a lot of things in technology, running a large digital publication, but podcasts are my favorite. I get to hear your unique story and the guest's unique story and share it with a global audience. So thanks again. And Shamir, we're going to jump right into the questions. You've got quite the career as a content creator. You're an entrepreneur, and now you're the founder and CEO of Simon Says. Could you share with our audience the secret to your career growth and what inspires you?
Yeah, no, thanks so much again for having me. And I'm not sure there's kind of a big secret. If anything, it would be that I've always followed my curiosity and, sort of the things that have piqued my interest, the topics or the subjects that have guided me all the way from when I was in documentary filmmaking and the topics I was curious about and sought to uncover, and both for myself and then to share that with the audience, all the way to the work I'm doing now in video tech, trying to see how artificial intelligence can remove the tedious or the mundane aspects, specifically in post-production, to really enable the creator to focus on the most important part, which is being creative and really bringing out the creativity in the storytelling. And so, it's really that has guided me.
That's awesome. I appreciate the share on that. And again, everybody's story is unique, but it always brings some inspiration to our audience. So thanks again. And Shamir, let's talk a little bit about this pandemic. As you know, everybody globally has had to make these major shifts and pivots. Could you share with us what you're doing to help your organization stay relevant in this economy?
Yeah, absolutely. Candidly, we've been fairly insulated. I think it's been a really challenging, trying time on a personal level for those who have been affected, including myself. But as an organization, I think we've really been, seeing the silver linings in this. Our view has been since the outset. We were founded a couple of years ago. So prior to the pandemic, that, workflows were moving to the cloud, that AI can really enable efficiency in storytelling process. And so, the pandemic has really expedited that shift to cloud-based workflows, to utilizing technology, in our case, AI, to really ease, as I've said before, the tedious, the mundane aspects, to help increase efficiency, to help teammates collaborate better amongst themselves and with their clients. And so benefited from that viewpoint of where the world was originally headed. And the pandemic obviously moved that world forward faster. In terms of, us as an organization, we were remote first. Our view has been from the very outset that brilliant, talented people exist all over the world. And we have sought to bring on teammates irrespective of where they reside. We want the most inspirational, smartest, talented people on our team. And so we've been remote first from day one. And, again, during a situation like this, it didn't really involve any shifts. So we've been seeing no kind of adjustments from how we were already working.
Great. Thank you for sharing. Do appreciate that. We've all had to rise to the challenge, and people have found that you can actually be more productive or be more diverse when you're working with a global team from around the world. So thanks again. And Shamir, you're obviously leveraging some new or emerging tech in your tech stack. Anything you mind sharing with our audience today?
Yeah, I mean, we're really looking at, I think when we started, we were looking at what doesn't change. What doesn't change a few years out, a decade out, longer, in a longer term horizon. And really what doesn't change amongst all this new technology, what doesn't change is people's desire to tell stories and people's love for stories. And that will be true for the next 1,000 years and beyond. And so for us, we see technology, the work that we are doing, really to enable storytellers to tell better stories, to share more stories, to share stories that we're not necessarily familiar with or have been exposed to increase the number of storytellers. So, the work that we're doing is really, in AI, in tech, in collaboration, in cloud-based workflows, is really to enable what is a timeless, and we hope for will always be here with us, a timeless tradition of storytelling and consumption of stories, in this case, oral and visual stories.
Great. I think the technology only enhances some of the work we do. And I know that it is special to have something created by obviously a human being, but the technology brings a lot more that we would have been able to do ourselves. So I appreciate you sharing that. And Shamir, we're going to jump into the last question. And this is more about Shamir Allibhai. Can you share something from your career experience that would be helpful for those looking to grow their career in tech or entrepreneurship?
Yeah, happy to. When I moved to Silicon Valley 6 years ago, and I had been working in content creation my entire career up to that point, and I'd really seen the magical elements in products, and saw this, felt the same affection for creating products as I did for creating films and creating stories. And I wanted to spend the next chunk of my career in Silicon Valley building video tech products. It was very difficult. Other than that thought, it was very difficult to make that transition. And I go back to what I was saying earlier, which is you really need to think about what it is that you love, that you feel strongly about. For me, I've been passionate about video since, maybe I was 10 years old, since my first time I touched a video camera, then my family's like home camcorder. I remember my film video class in high school, and the teachers I had who taught me storytelling and documentary filmmaking. And so, for me, I've been thinking about video effectively my whole life, and moving to Silicon Valley and wanting to move my career to being in the tech industry. Video and video tech was a natural kind of place for me to focus on, but I really had to dig deep. I was just like, okay, I want to work on products, technology products, but that in and of itself wasn't helpful. So it took me a couple of years really to after moving here to really understand, where is my superpower? What is it that I'm passionate about? And I think Simon Says is really the manifestation of that. It's like, I'm passionate about video technology. I'm passionate about our customers. I am one of the customers. I am a storyteller, a documentary filmmaker, those who are using video and audio to tell their stories. And so, I feel very passionate about both what we're doing and the technology we're creating, but really to enable our customers to do what they do. And so, I think that's the really, really important part to success. And it goes beyond just, say, starting a tech company to working in tech or making a career transition to tech. I think it applies generally, is that, what is it that you naturally gravitate to, naturally think about? Because those things compound. While everyone has shut down for the day at 5:31, you're still thinking about it. You're still thinking about the challenges, the problems that affect your space or your industry, or that challenge your customers that you want to solve. And over time, those things compound, and you are there is no other way but to succeed, because you've been thinking about it the most, you've been tinkering on the solutions the most, you've been talking to the most customers. And I really think that that's a key part of success, that, focus on what you are innately curious about, the problems that intrigue you, that pique your interest. And the rest is, quite frankly, a lot is out of our control, and some humility and appreciation that you can do your very best. You can, step up to every challenge. You can pull up your socks and work hard and make sure that the work you're doing aligns to your passion. But also, a lot of it is out of our control. A kind of understanding that there's a lot, for example, where you're born may deeply affect your success and your potential for success. So a lot of these things are also out of our control, but the things that are in your control, I think that's where my view is helpful, but also an acknowledgement that, there are many things that, even systemic challenges that are out of our control, and all we can do is show up at the end of the day. So if there are those who are curious about making that transition from content creation into tech entrepreneurship, feel free to reach out to me.
So, you just started using LinkedIn Premium. Now what? Well, on your premium company page, you noticed around 7.5 times more page engagement and 5 times more page views. Well done. And now, new clients are messaging you. All because you're using LinkedIn Premium, which helps you get the business growth you want. Think big, small business. Think big. Start your free trial at linkedin.com/premium small business. That's linkedin.com/premium small business.
That's awesome. And, Shamir, you talked about a lot of the hard work that goes into entrepreneurship, but, this is always a great topic, is the transition. We've had several guests that have made a complete 180 transition in their career. And while it's not been 180 for you, you moved out of your comfort zone, essentially, right? And doing the film and then moving to Silicon Valley and tech is, I think, an inspiring story for someone out there, certainly for me. So, Shamir, I just wanted to let you know it was a pleasure having you on today.
Thank you.
I look forward, you bet, I look forward to speaking with you real soon.
Thank you. Yeah. And I don't even know whether I'm fully through that transition. I'm definitely making strides to, say complete that transition, but, there's still a long way to go. Even I've been here, as I said, 6 years. I'm still learning, still meeting, still growing. And, thanks for having me and hearing my story.
Absolutely. Bye for now.
On WhatsApp, no one can see or hear your personal messages, whether it's a voice call, message, or sending a password. To WhatsApp, it's all just this. So whether you're sharing the streaming password in the family chat or trading those late-night voice messages that could basically become a podcast, your personal messages stay between you, your friends, and your family. No one else, not even us. WhatsApp, message privately.